Right, so can 100 strangers find the hottest person amongst them? This is going to be the ultimate clash of arrogance and insecurity, so let's just jump straight into it.
We brought 100 people together and one of them believes they're the hottest person here.
The thought of staying makes me want to throw up, but the thought of leaving also makes me want to throw up.
We need 9 more people to leave.
This is chaotic. 100 people as well is crazy. Usually Jubilee do these with like 6 people. And there I feel like you get a long time to speak, to get to know everyone and sort of like agree amongst yourselves. With 100 people, this is just going to be chaos.
This is really up, honestly.
You guys voted on a poll that ranked these people from least attractive to most attractive. It's
No
their job
way.
to figure out who is placed on top. Let's see if they can find the one.
I'm really glad that they've done a poll before, because if they had just sort of like done the ranking and left it there, there's no like satisfying like, oh, you thought that you were really attractive and you're not, like you should have left ages ago type of like redemption at the end of the video. So hopefully if someone's really jarring or really arrogant, they're going to get a big fat dose of karma at the end. And also people who are really humble will get a nice little pick me up at the end. All right, let's see if they can find the one.
Are you guys ready? So for the first round, we're asking the people who believe they're the 10 least attractive people in the circle to leave.
I mean, why would you sign up to a Can 100 Strangers Find the Hottest Person if you're there, like, not even looking around, I'm probably in the bottom 10% of most attractive people. But then again, actually, maybe loads of people own it and are like, there are way more important things. But I'm curious how many people step up right away.
You guys have 5 minutes to discuss this. Have fun.
I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of tough.
I think people need to be realistic.
I feel like people are gonna be so stubborn.
Is she saying that to someone going up being like, by the way, we need to be realistic? Just saying it to someone who she thinks is just straight up ugly. This is going to be so tough though, because if no one steps forward, they're essentially going to have to finger someone. Not like that, of course. Not just a punishment for being ugly. In fact, that's a reward. No, but they're going to have to point at someone and be like, no offense, but we all think it's you, pal. The video's only just started and I already feel really bad for these people.
Probably bad hygiene. I'm gonna say that. Bad hygiene. Yeah.
Anyone who smells bad.
You can't have that. Yeah.
No. Hold on. This is Can 100 Strangers Find the Hottest Person, not the stinkiest person. I don't want to see any of this like, oh, your fashion sense, oh, you smell a little bit, or like, oh, you're a bit shy. They've come in here talking about who's the hottest person. It completely defeats the point of the game if you're kicking them out for reasons other than how hot they are.
Anyone who's over the age of 40.
But if people find me unattractive, I don't care. I didn't enter a beauty contest.
I mean, you kind of did. You've literally entered a competition that is, let's find the most beautiful person out of this 100. This is as much of a beauty contest as you can get. But it's good that he recognizes that there are more important things to define his self-worth.
I think beauty is so subjective and like everyone views themselves so differently.
Growing up, I didn't feel that attractive. You know, I was kind of on the nerdy side, but I feel like as puberty hit and as I aged, a lot of peers and interactions from people kind of gave me that confidence boost.
What do you guys think? Are you attractive?
Yes.
Yeah? Are you in the top 90?
Top 90, yeah.
For sure.
Yes.
Top 90.
Yes, I'd say so. I care less about the way I look as I get older.
It's kind of nice that there's a host going around as well and like digging deep, asking questions. I feel like especially early on, they need to do some serious prodding. But already it seems like absolutely no one wants to put themselves forwards.
I think in society, people that are older aren't considered as attractive. I think it is kind of an oddity to think of somebody that's attractive in their late 50s or early 60s and even into their 70s.
So surely if he's thinking that, he should step forwards pretty early on. I feel like as well, if I had that kind of inclination, I would want to put myself out, because the worst thing ever would be sitting there being like, oh no, I'm not, I shouldn't go, I'm not in the bottom 10%, and having everyone be like, sorry mate, you are. I feel like it's such a bigger blow to your self-confidence having everyone push you out rather than just gracefully bowing out yourself.
Do you think you're in the top 90?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe so.
Everyone here.
I feel like I can make top 90.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then things might get sticky.
Yeah, it gets a little
It
sticky.
gets a little dicier.
Body dysmorphia and not knowing what I look like most of the time. So I don't know how other people would perceive me because I don't perceive myself at all.
Oh, that's interesting. Jubilee throwing in some more spanners. Again, it sounds like I'm using a slur. Like that's a slur for people with body dysmorphia. You know what I mean? That's a tough one though, because if you don't even perceive yourself, you are going to have to go off what everyone else thinks. And so essentially it's likely that she's only going to leave when everyone tells her to leave. This is going to get so brutal. I can't wait.
Sometimes even your own family may make you feel ugly, especially like growing up in a Hispanic family because my mother's Puerto Rican and they like to nitpick on you so much. But then I just learned how to grow out of that.
That's so sad. Like, thinking that there are going to be some people in here that have insecurities, that they kind of like want to grow and have the confidence to be like, you know what, I don't care what other people think. Like, all these horrible things that people have said about me, you know, I've kind of gotten over that and I'm past that trauma. I really worry that having a bunch of people being like, oh, you're ugly, you should go out in this round, will bring a lot of that trauma back up for them. I just hope Jubilee have done like a solid psyche eval before this one, because I feel like this one could seriously wound some people.
Yeah, you really have to just like not listen to what other people think and just, I don't know, it has to be like an inner voice inside of you that like no one can change no matter what anyone else says.
My people. Please leave the circle if you believe you are one of the 10 least attractive people here. In 3, 2, 1.
One person, fair play to her. I feel like pretty much however you look, that speaks so much volumes about you as a person. To be secure enough in yourself to just be like, you know what, this is so irrelevant, like, I don't really care. Maybe I do think I'm ugly, maybe I do think I'm more attractive and should just stay, but you know what, I'm just gonna walk here.
I knew I was gonna be that top spot. So it was too me kind of being in control of the outcome. Perceiving myself in the world has been like really the biggest struggle for me. So it was my way of being in control. Like, I'm just gonna take myself out now so that I won't have to go through the stages.
That's what I mean. I'm guessing everyone's signed up to this and they've explained how this is going to work and they've consented to being a part of this. But for some people, I worry how they're going to take it, especially in the early rounds.
I'm going to hand you a card, and in the card is the number you got on the poll.
Oh, the voters rated her an 8 out of 10, which is a ridiculously high score. Fair play. Like, I think everyone would be happy with that. That's not me saying as well that that's like high for her. Like, that's just high overall. But I am kind of disappointed that it's a scoring out of 10 rather than where they rank in the 100. I mean, maybe they'll line them up at the end, but like for her going like, I've ranked myself and walked out essentially as 100th out of 100 in terms of looks. I think it would be really interesting to be like, oh, actually people put you at like 35 or whatever. But anyway, her getting emotional about that and then getting an 8 is very nice to see. Very emotional. Oh my god, it's a tearjerker.
I wasn't expecting it because it is something that I do struggle with, and knowing that there were like a lot of people rating, I just automatically know like it's just me in my head like, oh, they're gonna rate me way different than they did.
Oh, that's actually heart-wrenching. It's really hard hearing people speak about themselves like this. And you know what? If she got a low number, I mean, if that made her emotional, if she pulled out like a 2, how the hell would she react? I genuinely think there's a chance I'm gonna cry at this.
So this is like an eye-opener for me. It's something I do struggle with.
Bruh, send a producer in and give her a hug. Oh my goodness, that's so sad.
Okay, so only one person thinks they're the least attractive. We have to have 10 people leave, so we need 9 more people to leave.
This is so awkward. What do? Do you do like a game of paranoia type thing where you just go 3, 2, 1 and everyone points, and whoever's getting fingered the most has to leave? I need to stop using that as the term. Okay, an exodus has started to happen. To be fair, looking at them going out, like everyone looks like reasonably good looking people. I feel like there's a good chance that some of the people that left weren't there like, I am the ugliest, but were just like, actually, I don't want to be a part of this self-aggrandizing, oh, I'm way too hot to leave now. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's as much a character and personality test as it is anything else. And people like massively disagreeing evidently with the people that leave. At least I think that's what everyone means when they're going, no. Oh, but there's still one more to go. So let's see how they get this last one out.
Now it's time for the second round. You should only remain in the circle if you believe you're in the top 50. So take some time to discuss this, and then you will leave.
I thought this would be a long one. I thought they were going to go 10 by 10. Now top 50%. That's a tough one. That means to remain in the circle, you've got to sit there and be like, I'm more attractive than most of the people I see here. And I feel like a lot of people would be like, oh, I'm not in the bottom 10%, even if you have a lot of insecurities and don't feel great about yourself. But sitting there going like, I'm in the top 50% takes a big chunk of confidence, I think. Especially, like I said, in a room full of relatively good looking people.
Like, I can think someone's like gorgeous and someone else can think, oh, they're okay, you know what I mean? So it's like,
The thought of staying makes me want to throw up, but the thought of leaving also makes me want to throw up.
I feel like I can look at myself on different days and like see a completely different person. Based on life experience, I'd probably vote myself out.
What?
Really? Why?
Just like, I don't know.
Is it because maybe you don't like put yourself out there, or?
What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, that is probably the main way you're going to go off it, isn't it? Like, I feel like once you're at this age, you have some idea of how, in general, society perceives you. And as some people have already said, looks are so subjective. Like, there'll be people in there that'll be looking at others going like, oh, you should definitely be walking out now. And the same person to someone else could be like, oh, you should definitely be staying. But I feel like most people here will know what conventional beauty standards are, regardless of whether or not they actually believe in them or feel them themselves or think they're right or whatever. And they'll have a good idea of where exactly they fit into those standards, because this isn't like who's the most confident in the way they look or anything. It's like the hottest person. You kind of have to go off just societal subjective beauty standards.
Right now, I feel like you're in the top, or?
I think maybe middle top. I think energy can carry a lot, and also just like I'm not nervous, but I'm curious to see how the top will look diversity levels. Because, I mean, everyone has underscored biases, subconscious biases. I feel like people are starting to get anxious, antsy, you know?
Totally.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Obviously, being a US show, there's going to be more Eurocentric beauty standards. So she is right. It is going to be interesting to see what the top 10 looks like diversity-wise. But one thing I'm not sure about what she said was about energy and how much that can carry. I feel like that definitely plays a big part in overall attractiveness, like whether you'd want to enter a relationship with someone or hook up with someone or whatever. Energy undeniably plays a big part in overall attractiveness. But I feel like with the hottest person, given it's been ranked on photos of people as well, energy really isn't going to play that big a part. I mean, you can somewhat gauge someone's energy from their hairstyle, from any accessories they've got on, from their clothing, from their smile. But I feel like hotness and the fact that people have rated them on photos means that it's going to be a lot more surface level than any kind of like energy and personality and stuff.
Tension is rising.
It really is.
I had like really terrible acne like in high school, and then like it was probably my senior year. It's kind of magically all went away.
Well, I think that it's just all about how you present yourself. You know, people who exude self-confidence and smile, you know, are more attractive essentially than people who just look good but then can't present themselves.
No, we're definitely top 50.
Oh, that's so interesting, because everyone definitely has a different idea of what makes someone hot. And even here, them only spending a few minutes with each other in each round, the energy and self-confidence and smiliness is going to play a part on how attractive they find each other. But that will have just barely been taken into account by the people rating the photos. So I feel like they need to focus a lot less on that kind of stuff if they're actually going to try and find the hottest person here.
No, the girl with all the tattoos left, and her and I would have. No, we literally. She's so hot. It's a cruel.
It doesn't need to be hard.
Yeah, and even things like that, like tattooed person. Some people might find a tattooed person really attractive. Someone might find them really unattractive. It's going to make it so difficult if, as a group, they have to like push other people out. Because it was tough enough getting 10 people to leave at the start. Getting half the people to leave is going to be a nightmare.
So now, if you don't believe you're in the top 50 most attractive people, please leave the circle. In 3, 2, 1. Okay. So 40 people do have to leave.
And only 3 have gone as well. And we're not even getting a proper look at how attractive they are. They're just leaving. Also, I'm not nodding being like, yeah, you should have gone. I'm just going like, okay, like 3 people have gone, like people are starting to step out. But with 40 needing to go, 3 people hesitantly leaving is not enough.
40 people do have to leave. Okay. And I still think more people are gonna have to leave. It's just a numbers game right now.
I want the clashes to start. It's good that they're like slowly going one by one, but I want everyone to start being really stubborn just to see what the next step is for them to just be like, right, we're going to have to figure this out. Given no one's self-nominating, we're going to have to do this completely different strategy. I mean, that feels a little bit mean to say, but that is the spice we're here for. Oh my God, that guy being like, no, come back. I'm coming with you. I love you. See, that would be the biggest ego boost. This would make me feel like way more inclined to leave early. Just being like, oh, no one's really leaving. This is awkward. I'm going to go. And have people be like, no, come back. You're way too hot to be leaving now. Having a massive group of people being like, you're genuinely just too hot to be leaving at this stage would be a way bigger confidence boost than like keeping yourself in to being the final 10 or whatever.
Since not enough people are leaving, I'm gonna have to pair people up and you'll decide amongst yourselves who will leave the circle.
Okay, a little bit of controversy. Here we go. I like it.
You two. You two. You two. You. I'm not like, okay, you two.
Although, major mathematical flaw with this, they could be pairing up like beautiful people and people that are not beautiful. And so inevitably you'd get one hot person leaving and one not hot person leaving. Unanimous group decision making is so much more brutal, but that would be the way.
You two. You two.
Talking about it, it was kind of hard because you have to be not only humble, but honest, self-aware. And, you know, just a lot of hard decisions that a lot of people made to exit out.
Yeah, like you could be the second hottest person in that room and just be like, you know what, I am smoking hot. You know, I'm just going to own it. I'm going to stay here and get paired up with the hottest person. And if you were self-aware and humble enough, you'd be like, right, well, you are more attractive. Like if one of us has to go, I have to go. But in the back of your mind, you'd be like, this doesn't really make any sense because I'm not in the bottom half. But then again, maybe that's where you have to drop the ego because at the end of the day, they're just trying to find the one hottest person. So if you are paired up with someone and you go, you are objectively hotter than me, even if a bunch of hot people are kicked out, you should still be left with the hottest person amongst them. And the group is thin massively. So logically like this, we're probably not going to end up with the 50 people remaining being the 50 most attractive. But you are going to have 50 people gone quite quickly, quite efficiently, and almost certainly the hottest person will still be there. So depends how much you care about how accurate the group is before you find that hottest person, you know?
It's time to decide who's gonna leave. So would the person who decided they were less attractive please leave the circle now?
Welcome back.
Oh, Errol left. I really thought he was gonna, from the way he was carrying himself and speaking, and he's a good looking dude. I thought he was gonna be like, I'm staying around till the top 10 or whatever the next stage is. It makes me curious who he paired up with as well.
Okay.
Okay.
I got a 4, and this is out of 10. And I honestly don't mind the score.
4's all right. I mean, it's a little bit under average, but only slightly. That's not bad. We take those.
Got a 9. I feel like it's kind of high, you know, I guess.
9 is crazy high. Like, that is insane. I mean, I can tell he's a good looking guy, but 9 is so high. Maybe I'm just too straight to tell.
Your insecurities eventually fade, but what makes you look better is something you are still aware of, I think. And I think that if anything, it may even be feedback that I probably should spend a little more time on fitness.
I mean, I would have put myself like a 8, maybe.
May have to consider dyeing my hair someday.
Oh, this Abram guy's a sweet dude. You don't need to change, Abram. You're fine the way you are.
As long as I think I'm attractive, I'm going to be confident.
Now we're cutting down to the last 10 people. So please only remain in the circle if you believe you're in the top 10. So go ahead and talk about it, and then you will step out soon.
Do you think I'm in the top 10?
This is a tough one. This, I would think, would be the one where most people would leave. Because to say you're in the top 10, I mean, you'd have to have a lot of self-confidence. Maybe some people might have to be arrogant or overconfident, because I'm going to be honest, I reckon there are going to be some people that are going to stay and be like, I should be in the top 10, that society wouldn't put them close. And that doesn't devalue them at all. It doesn't mean that they're not going to be attractive to some people. It's just within the parameters of the game.
I think you are. Do you think I am?
Really?
Yeah.
I think you are.
Should I? Yeah, you
Top 10. No, but I think you are. I think this is the time to tell people how it is if they're really attractive, I think.
I mean, even with this bunch of people, what, like 35 people left, it's still so chaotic. There's still so many shouting, like they can only really get like one sentence in there. They're talking in groups. I feel like this should have been one of those like 1 hour, 1.5 hour videos to let people really flesh it out, because it just would have been so interesting.
Just overall, it'd probably be a mix of both. So if you have a little bit of both, it's probably gonna
like looks and a good personality.
Top 10.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that.
No, stop talking about personality. I don't want to come across as shallow here, but I feel like it's hard not to when the purpose of the game is finding the hottest person. Maybe I just use the terms differently to some other people, but I think like attractiveness can definitely include personality and stuff, but hottest it sounds shallow. That to me is just purely looks. And I'm curious if you guys agree or not. Let me know in the comment section down below whether you'd also be factoring in personality and stuff if you're ranking people by hotness. Not in terms of like how attractive you would find them or anything like that, but if you were going like how hot these people rank them, would you consider personality and like energy and how they carry themselves and stuff? Especially knowing that the final result is based on a photograph? Let me know, I'm curious.
Can I say something? Yeah. Okay, I've been having conversations with so many people and everyone is saying,
Oh, imagine being told that. Your ego could go through the roof. Being in a situation like this and just having someone coming up to you being like, by the way, I've spoken to literally everyone here. You are by far the hottest one. And having everyone else in the circle being like, yeah, you are. I'm curious what they look like. Okay, yeah, she's a very attractive lady.
So now we're gonna pare it down to the top 10. And remember that people in an online poll voted for you. So only stay in if you thought you would be in the top 10% of those people.
I didn't mind it when they were pairing off to cut like 90 into 50. When you just need to maximize efficiency and just get like a bunch of people out, that's fine. But turning 38 into 10 by pairing off, you just are gonna lose so many worldies. I feel like that strategy is boring as well. Like pairing up, like, okay, it's an interesting-ish conversation between them, but you wanna see the group thing. You wanna see the highs and lows of everyone in that group being like, you're very attractive, you're unfortunately not. And let's be honest, being told by a group like, oh, you're not in the top 10% of most attractive people, it can only wound you so much. Like again, I felt a little bit mean saying that was what I want to see, but you can get over that.
Please leave in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, we've got a better look there, and there are some attractive people leaving there. A lot of confusion as well, again, which again, you know, if I'm leaving and everyone's going like, what? And pulling me aside, I'm like, you know what? I'm fine with it. It's a shame we didn't really get to see the conversations though, because I'm curious how many times there'd be someone who was just objectively a lot better looking, but who's maybe a bit insecure, maybe a little bit humble, maybe a bit non-confrontational, and someone who's maybe quite obviously the less attractive one, being very arrogant or being very stubborn and being like, oh no, I love myself. I have massive self-confidence. Like, I'm gonna stay, you should leave. It'd just be interesting to see how it played out with a lot of the people that are leaving, where everyone's like, no, why are you leaving, you know?
Only one of you was voted the most attractive in this attractiveness poll. So we're gonna go around the circle and I want you to explain who you think it is.
Oh, is anyone gonna say themselves here? Like, if you're the girl that's had someone come up to them and be like, everyone thinks it's you, do you just go like, being honest, I think it probably is me? Or do you just go, as much as I genuinely do think it's me, I'm not gonna say it because I'll just come across as such a pretentious, up myself twat. So I'll just say someone who also, you know, could be up there with me.
For thinking in terms of the poll, I think it's one of the girls, probably Nandi.
That voice is crazy. Oh my God, get this guy on audiobooks.
In my opinion, she just fits like the American Beauty standard.
I would think Natty is the top female, and then I think Gavin would be the top male.
Natty is the one getting all the shouts.
Gavin is top guy for sure, and Nandi is a top female.
It would be Gavin, Haley, and Isabella. Nandi and Gavin fit the like model look, I think, of Nandi or Haley for sure.
Yeah, I think it's kind of, it's maybe not unanimous, but like, I mean, even before it got down to these numbers, it sort of looks like light is following you. Like, you're very pretty. Like, I think it's probably going to be you. Yeah.
To be fair, they haven't done a bad job. I'm sitting here in the circle being like, they're all relatively attractive people. Obviously, you haven't seen everyone yet, but I wonder if people in the circle right now are thinking like, that person there just shouldn't be here. They are only here because of either stubbornness or delusion.
Gavin and Kiz, y'all are very beautiful. Nandi, I saw her earlier and I was like, oh, she's like, before anything, I was like, oh, for sure her.
Gavin, probably for the male.
And for the girl, Naomi. And I know we're not basing this off of personality, but like you just have this like joy about you that I really appreciate. So that's on YouTube. Yeah.
No, boring. Don't say that. That's not what we're here to judge them on. Although she could just be saying that as a bonus tip. Like she could just be saying, oh, I think you're the most attractive, but you also have a lot of joy about you. In which case, I'm a miserable git for getting annoyed at that. I think this format is bringing out a small amount of evilness in me, but it's all just a game that they've signed up for. So don't feel guilty if you want to see some drama yourself. It is why we're here after all. And in fact, really quickly, if you are enjoying this video and you like videos like this, please feel free to subscribe down below. It's free, it only takes a second, and it means a lot to me in the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Welcome new subscribers. Everyone who's already subscribed, thank you very much for being part of the gang. Now that's enough yapping and self-promo. On with the video.
Oh, sorry. He does. It seems like you guys were talking between Gavin and Nandi. So if you think it's Gavin right now, raise your hand. And if you think it's Nandi, raise your hand. And who thinks it's me? No. Sorry. It's time to leave the circle and find out if Nandi is the one.
Oh, see this, especially with his final 10 in the circle. I feel like there would be so much more drama and so many bigger reactions if they were like, oh yeah, I thought, you know, I was in the top 10, I kept myself there, and they open it and it's like 93. I really hope Jubilee do another one of these with a lot longer discussions and like giving people their rankings. Because the ratings out of 10, they don't even know what they're relative to.
I knew I was gonna cry.
Like, we've just had 8s and 9s pretty much all round, apart from the old dude that got a 4. Like, those ratings don't really mean anything if the top 80% were all getting like 7, 8, and 9. Maybe the audience that were being polled were just like being really nice and really generous.
I've been put on a pedestal of hatred my whole life. Being Black in America, I've had a lot of interactions online with people, and I kind of really don't care how people perceive me.
The idea of people perceiving me is just so weird.
And this number doesn't really validate or invalidate anything about me. I'm very much me, and I love myself, and I can get it at home anyway. My boy thinks I'm a 10.
Okay, fair enough. Just turned around and was like, I don't care what anyone else thinks about me. I can just shag whenever I want. You can focus on trying to deliver a blow to my self-esteem. I'm busy getting my back blown out. That is okay. All right. That's probably too much. On with the video.
If the light turns green, you're the one. If the light turns red, you're not the one. Good luck.
I actually think they've got it. I mean, from the way everyone in the circle is speaking, this seems like the one.
Light change in 3, 2, 1.
No way. I don't know why I'm saying no way as if I'm surprised. I'm really not.
Okay, Nandi, how do you feel now that you're the one?
I'm honestly in shock right now. Everyone that I met today is honestly so beautiful inside and out. I model full time, so I'm always told about things that I can improve on or things that could help me look better.
Oh, that's so interesting. When she said she models, I was like, oh, of course she's gonna know she was one of the most beautiful there. But they must dive in your insecurities in that industry. But yeah, she can't have been that shocked either, because literally everyone was telling her it was gonna be her.
So hearing that I am the one is honestly just crazy to me, and I don't know, it makes me feel kind of emotional. I don't know why, but thank you. Thank you.
Oh, it was also really interesting to think about like what they were saying earlier. That lady that was like, oh, I'm so curious what the diversity is going to look like in the end. That was a very diverse circle. Although again, it being a Jubilee video, I don't think I'm that surprised that that's how it turned out.
Thank you guys for watching. This has been The One.
Damn, interesting. Yeah, I feel like that could have been produced a little better, but that was very enjoyable. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that video as much as I did. If you did, please feel free to subscribe down below so you can catch whatever I do next. Let me know your thoughts on this whole thing, and thanks for watching. Bye.